How's everyone doing? Let me get Mark online too. Hey, Mark,
Hey there.
and welcome to everyone else for this episode of DangIT Prodcast. This is episode 358. Ooh, numbers high. But Mark, how are you doing?
Doing good. How you doing?
I'm doing all right. I was talking to you, and I was like on Twitch like yesterday too, talking about like how I have my second dose, and I've been trying to just keep track of like how I'm feeling, just physically at all times,
Whether
just
you're
to
gonna
see
explode or not?
whether I'm going to explode. Um, Good news that already came to pass. Uh,
Yikes.
Bottles, what happened? I thought you died. I did. I got over it.
I got over it.
He says that, so he explains how like the phenomenon of dying and rebirth like occurs in a very intellectual way, but the only thing that the viewers get to hear is just but yeah, no, the only thing that I've like really come across probably was the drowsiness from like last night, but I'm better now. So then again, this is only like a
See.
few days after, so we'll I'll let you guys know. But as far as I'm
Hopefully it all
concerned,
stays well.
yeah, I'm just hoping that it doesn't like stop me from like doing like a stream. But if it happens, it happens. Sure. But yeah, so doing like all right over here. Yesterday, also I was watching Yasuke on Netflix. Um, I already said my piece on that on stream yesterday, but yes, to sum it up, it's all right.
Yeah,
It is,
it's the story of the Black Samurai
yes, but with a twist.
with a twist.
And that's pretty much the best thing, because if you've seen any of the trailers, you'll already get an idea of like, okay, there's a little bit of fiction added to it, and that's fine. And we're not talking about like certain events are a little misconstrued, like a little bit. There's some active changes on it, but it's all good. It's 6 episodes. If you got a free like afternoon, it's totally bingeable. So that's a great thing about Netflix, is that for those types of shows you can just watch them back to back to back. It's ultimately what I ended up doing. I thought I was gonna just watch episode 1 and be done with it, but I was like, no, actually no, I could probably stick for another one. 6 episodes
I'll
later,
binge.
oh, I'm done. Wow, all right. But yeah, no. Music and animation is pretty top. Story is kind of like what throws me off a little bit, because the pacing is actually really like fast, but the way it's handled is kind of weird. Versus like Invincible, for example, where what was it? It's like it's been like 11 to 12, 13 episodes, and those are like 23 plus minutes long, and it does take its time like this tell out like stories, despite it maybe cutting some content here and there because it was originally from the comics. But they did a really good job like for Invincible, for sure. They just wrapped up on their first season, and oh my god, like there's like two halves of it. Like it's literally like two episodes essentially. As far as like the 20-minute divider. There's the fight, and then there's the aftermath of said fight. But the emotions get to carry out like throughout. So it's just really good. Also pretty traumatic. So warning on that. But they are
Dramatic.
but there is a season 2 and 3 coming in, so definitely keep a lookout because it's doing very successful. Especially since they got people talking about it on Twitter. So it's great.
Trauma.
Drama, you know. It's like, man. But that's
Good
pretty much
old trauma.
that's kind of like the big shows that are like happening right now, at least as far as I know. Um, everything else would pretty much be like already out there or available. Um, yeah, after like Captain, like I was gonna say Captain, but generally speaking, it's just Falcon the Winter Soldier. Yes, with that ending, the like Invincible is kind of the other thing like holding me over, but now that's finished up, so I'm like, what am I to do? because I feel like those have been like the best as far as like productions that I've seen of animation and maybe live action. Granted, though, I don't really watch live action, so when you when like there's advertisements for something called Handmaid's Tale, I'm totally lost. I've already hopped off. Although I did just recently saw like ads for it like today, so other than that, there's always the usual anime stuff. So, but not too much that I would like to keep continue like bring up on the podcast. Those are just simply me to watch like on my own. Any shows that you've been keeping up with, Mark, since the end of
I
Falcon
have
Wars?
really been lacking. I need to keep up on more shows because I have been getting super lazy with it. I used to be really good at it, but now I'm just getting lazy in terms of uh well, it's part lazy, part I just have difficulty in terms of my OCD is annoying.
Oh, I see. Okay, got you. So, I mean, what is the I guess like your I guess your token like watch list looking like?
Well, it's my watch list is usually way more anime than anything else.
Fair. That's kind of me too.
Main, that's mainly just because I've said this before and I'll say it again. I can go on record saying this because yeah, I'll try to say it again in the future. I feel like live action shows in the West, like we had those all the time. I feel like they've gone down hill a little bit.
You think so? I mean, I don't really know for certain. So,
I feel like, of course, there are good examples. Like I used to have shows that I'd watch. Like I would
oh,
watch
for certain.
I watched a lot of shows on TNT. Like I would watch
Hmm.
like Falling Skies, Last Ship. Like those were some that I really enjoyed. And of course, like I'd watch sitcoms like Big Bang Theory. Of course, I'd watch Everybody Loves Raymond, all those kind of sitcoms. That '70s show. Like I'd watch all that kind of stuff.
Hmm.
But anime always just really appealed to me in the sense of like I could have several different stories and it's just endless amounts of entertainment. Different
Think,
genres, different stories, different art styles.
yeah, art styles definitely. Because I was wondering because there's definitely a lot of like live action shows, but I guess for me personally, from like seeing from the outside, maybe not a lot of notable ones, like to just like watch consistently. Because there are things like The Boys, for example. Like, granted, I personally didn't like. I still haven't watched it, but I can definitely tell that people like really like that show too, and for good reason.
What else did I? I think one of the like one of the few action shows I've kept up with, like not recently, but I was trying to catch up with it like a year or two ago. Was the 100, which is on the CW.
That sounds familiar. Yeah.
Yeah, it was. I enjoyed the 100. It's kind of gotten a bit far from its roots, but honestly, you kind of expect that with TV. You expect to like you're going to be going forward with the plot, and sometimes when you do, you're going to want to explore new routes, see what hits, what doesn't hit.
You know what? Maybe yeah. Maybe the thing is that I need like my thing is more like fictional stuff. So, of course, like any like sitcom is like always welcome thing. But honestly, I would love to just kind of jump into shows that deal with like fiction, like maybe sci-fi. But like then again,
Yeah, the
I'm
100 is
yeah,
sci-fi.
nice.
Oh, yeah,
Seven
I've
seasons?
always
Damn.
enjoyed sci-fi stuff. Sci-fi stuff is just cool.
It would
Like, and
be
plus, there's just something about space just always intrigued me.
just the mystery of it. Like you could because it's nothing that we've like really explored, just kind of leaves a lot of open-ended stuff for us to just
Yet we know
elaborate
more
on.
about space than our own ocean. You know why? Because the ocean's scary, bro.
It's- we we look up and we're like, man, let's go up there. We look down at the ocean and we're like,
Oh hell no!
I'll leave it to be in the submarine.
Yeah, like I'm not going in the ocean, man, because
It's
I fear the I'll dip my feet in. I might go to the short to like the shallow end, but there's something about the ocean. I think it's because we know there's stuff that'll eat us in there.
yeah, it's because we know. It's because we absolutely know that there's huge ass squids. There's some like really funky looking stuff when you get to the ocean floor. And granted, you can't even get there like bare bodied. You have to be in
Without just
something.
freaking crumbling like a piece of paper.
Yeah. Good lord. I
Meanwhile, in space, I mean, sure, it's hard. I mean, I'm sure there's no oxygen, but hey, nothing's trying to eat you.
well, I guess to be fair, like in either setting, it's hard for you to breathe.
Yeah, but at least in one, nothing's trying to eat you.
And granted, you know what? The scariest thing is literally to let go and not be able to like recover back. That's the upside of space, right? You're in the middle of the space station. You're supposed to grab something to hold on. You hold you on to, but you let go. You slip. You're floating in space now. You're like, oh well, this is it. Versus like
There's,
in the water, you could just be you can swim in a different direction, but
yep.
it I guess it's different. Granted, I've never been to space, so I can't really say for certain versus being submerged relatively deep in some water.
And just being in space, people just, I mean, you're weightless. There's no force, like, just empty void.
That's true. And you know, like the world's already big as it is. And when you I'm pretty sure if you're like in the middle of the ocean doing some scuba diving, like the world just seems a lot larger. But when I'm only assuming that the moment you enter space, that's when your whole like scope of things just widens up.
Like, man, this place big.
This world's big.
You get a bigger perspective rather than just what's on Earth. You see what's around Earth. You see what's on the out on what's the like, it's basically like imagining how the explorers felt discovering, well, not discovering, but finally seeing North America.
Yeah, it's like, damn, this is huge.
Like, bro, there's a whole new world out here.
Yeah, and you know what? It's wait, what was I gonna say? It still dealt with like space and whatnot. Oh yeah, the whole concept like of the universe being well, the universe,
Endless.
everything. And then there was like this Ben 10 Alien Force episode where Ben and Co go into space like with this one knowledgeable dude. He say like, "Hey, what's that speck over there? Oh, that's the universe. I
just,
thought the universe
just the
was
universe.
everything." Like that's a very age old like conception. There's that universe, and if you look further out over there, that's another universe. I hated that one.
So basically, like second universe, or like basically our universe is one of many.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
the multiverse theory.
the multiverse theory. Funny enough, when we said universe 1 2, it's like, oh, Dragon Ball Super, obviously.
Yeah, because I mean, like after the multiverse was first established with Future Trunks, because like when that's because we found out, like, he when he changed that in the past, it didn't affect his own timeline, which but it does affect other ones. So we have
You need
learned
to
that,
be
oh, so
stopped.
multiverse theory.
Yeah,
You need to be stopped.
grab someone. Step 1, grab someone close.
Real close,
Spin
really,
them.
really close.
Pull them close. Spin them around. Toss them up. Eat them.
You need to be stopped.
Grab her close. Lift her up. You need to be
Batista bomb.
stopped.
You need to be stopped.
Oh my god. It's ridiculous. Yeah, I feel like all the talk about like sci-fi stuff earlier, I realized that like despite my interest in it, there's not a lot of shows or even like games that I really delve into that deal with that. I think the most recent one was like Alien Isolation, where I really just dipped my toes into, and that was it because that was part of like a Halloween special. But I do have a PC
There's
version of
tons
it,
of
so
sci-fi
yeah,
shows.
for sure. Like
Like, I mean, that's what Falling Skies was. Falling Skies, I really liked that show. It went off the air like in 2015, 2016.
wow,
That involved yeah, human resistance against alien invasion.
damn.
Really popular concept seen before. They did a really good job at it.
But it's like it's finished, right?
Yeah, it's finished now.
I might tune into that. I think is that on Netflix or something like that.
I don't think it's I think it's on Netflix. I don't know unless they've added it in recent times.
Said the final episode date was September 2020. It went on for a while.
Hold up. Something ain't added up there, Chief. Because I know for a fact it was in 2020.
Are you sure though?
Unless they secretly brought it back and I'm just in the dark.
I mean, it. This is like the 100.
Oh, that's the
Uh,
what? Are you talking about the 100?
are we talking about the or just 100?
I was talking about Falling Skies.
Oh, my bad.
I was
Forgot
like the
though.
100.
Forgot we were. Those are two separate things that we were talking about.
Yeah, the 100. Yeah, that's still going.
Oh, okay,
At least I
gotcha.
think. I mean, I know they just did their most recent season. I don't know if that was their final season or if this is or if they're finna keep going.
Okay, Falling Skies. Yeah, that was 2015 ended. Okay, got you. Looks like that's on HBO Max, by for anyone who's curious about Falling Skies.
Oh, is it on HBO Max?
Yeah, it looks like it. Yeah, it's also available on YouTube to buy or iTunes to buy. But I was gonna say like I feel like like of course our fear with like the ocean and everything is because we know what's down there.
Things with
Some
teeth that like to bite.
really freaky things that are down there, but if we knew the things like that we created in sci-fi were in space, and they probably are, um, we just needed like a more solid evidence of it. Pretty sure we'd start fearing space as well. Which leads me to my next question: Monster Hunter in space when?
Monster Hunter in space.
Imagine doing your silk binding attacks and doing all the spins, zero G spins.
I
Well,
mean, if you want
actually,
to do that, just use the hammer.
let everyone main hammer.
Quite literally, if you want to just do that, then I just say use the hammer.
DLC, oops, all hammers.
Oops, all hammers.
I I've been reading up on like well obviously I'm looking into like builds and stuff like that in Monster Hunter. Uh and I've been learning that like when you're like partnering up with like a bunch of other people with different like weapons, you're usually trying to assign the hammer to the head of the monster. Long swords or other swords just go into the tail, and everyone else that does quick attacks should just aim for the feet. if there is a if
Yep.
there is a foot.
I mean, like great sword and hammer. Those are your heavy hitters. Like you can do a lot of damage with different weapons, but if you want something that's gonna like knock it down, I would say it's usually you want to go with either the great sword or the hammer.
I've tuned into like a few Monster Hunter streams of like some really like high end like stuff being built, and whatchamacalls it? Like I'm seeing Hammer do like a few hundreds of damage, like for swing, like well for the
Now
special
that
like attacks.
is
So it's, yeah,
wild.
that's wild. But recently I've been like tapping into a lot more like high end gear that have access to all these crystals and stuff like that. And like when you find out like all the different like avenues you can take as far as like what skills to like attach to your character, how much can you like stack it?
Oh,
I'm
it becomes
now yeah, I
it, it,
start
it
seeing it.
becomes a spreadsheet of options.
I'm trying to do one for Charge Blade, a spreadsheet kind of elaboration on it, and the long sword.
The
But
longsword's cool. Like I want to get better with the longsword, but at the same time, just miss all my damage with my great sword.
yeah, that's an unfortunate thing with the heavy hitters that there's that slow swing speed, and it just comes down to just
I,
knowing like what it
simple
is.
fix, focus.
Simple fix: watch and listen.
like like that is the skill that is needed is focus.
Yeah, for sure.
Because
I think,
with focus, it reduces the charge time when you're charging up your heavy attacks. So it's like, oh, so now I can hit you really quickly.
and the thing with like the charge blade is that you have like one super ultimate move, and so your goal in every single like hunt is to get to that point, and that usually involves charging your shield, like first and
Yeah,
foremost, and then charging
I
the
mean, but
files
you do have
for it.
combos though.
Yeah, there's definitely combos. But definitely the name of the game is just to fill your files, charge your shield, and pull out the that ultimate move of yours.
You could always
Um,
dual blade Captain Levi.
so I picked. I don't know if like if I crafted this or not, but I had like a pair of like dual blades that were just totally good to go as far as just like mobility sakes. I literally took a break from like doing the main questings to do some like money grinding and or farming. And I found that I needed
Yeah,
to
a
use
lot, a
them.
lot of people say to like use botanist and geologist, like so you can get tons of plants and tons of like ore, so that way you can just like sell like a bunch of it.
There's actually like, and I guess I can talk about that. The method I had to follow as far as getting a good amount of money. So like right now, like at that point, I was down like 2,000, like so I guess Zenny or something like that. And the guide that I follow required that you need to like follow outcrops in the caverns, the volcanic caverns specifically. And you need to have like yeah, level 3 geologist.
Yeah,
Um
so that way you get more, you get a lot more
yeah.
freaking materials.
So you follow a certain route like throughout. You hop over to another like sub camp, and then you follow like whatever's left there, and then just kind of loop over until 10 minutes later, the locale updates, in which you no longer have outcroppings that give more of your materials, and you literally do this for 10 minutes, and you come back and you sell it to Kagero, and you walk away with like probably around like 200,000 some money.
Which is fantastic.
It is it definitely gives me some insurance and some comfort. So I guess I won't have to worry about like a shortage until later.
Not
So
until later.
not until
So
later.
you're good for now.
I'm good for now. Like right now, I need to do like the last like urgent like 6-star quest before I can like into the 7-star echelon.
I was
So
gonna say have you done any of the 6-star quests?
I have like post like stream because I would find that like I'd have time to at least do one, despite like how much like hits these monsters are taking nowadays. But I've been able to do it, so now I'm just stuck. I have to beat that one new monster, the one that kind of looks like it has a hood over it.
Oh, Ragna.
So that's what I'm gonna deal with, and then I think the next big threat for me that I'm going to see after that is Rongjong.
Oh, Rajang.
He's the few times I brought him in to fight someone else, he's literally this dude catches up to you on your Palamute.
Oh, he does. You best be using. You best be using that freaking drift.
I mean, it's okay because he literally stops to like wind up for an attack, so you're okay. But it's super scary. He's like one of the few who can do that.
Oh, dude, when they catch up, you're just like,
Oh, I'm
oh,
sprinting.
oh,
I'm quivering.
oh, I'm quivering.
But yeah, so I would just love to hit what was it 7 stars and get all the monsters done there. It's just so like the weapon trees finally like opened up.
Well, I
Maybe
mean,
not
with DLC
finally.
now, it's got even more stuff to open
Yeah,
up.
it's got more stuff to worry about. But
But
for whatever
but
tree
I
I'm
mean, here's the
focused,
thing: like, it's really easy to farm your way up to the ranks by doing the 7-star Ibushi run.
the 7-star Ibuchi run. Okay.
Like,
Is
it
is the
is
one we
super
did
quick.
is that the one that we just did, or is that like technically a 6-star one?
It's a 6-star.
Oh damn, dude. So it's gonna get harder.
Not if you play online like I do, because then
Fair.
it goes by super quick. Because my god, you get some players that are freaking gods.
Damn. And actually, having beat Ibuchi like the first time, I looked at like his armor set stuff, and it does have that one particular skill specific to him, which was like wind alignment. Have you
Still
ever
no
tried
wind
that?
weapons.
Well, I don't think yeah, the thing about it is that it's not specifically like wind resistance. It's just dragon resistance period, but I don't
Well,
really understand.
technically, it does give you resistance against Ibushi's wind.
This is true. That's good. Yeah, that's good. But like my thing is like I don't really quite understand like why it's like 5 levels. Maybe I didn't scroll it, but I only saw only like 3 levels like annotated to it. Like why is there 5 levels immediately to it? But
Why are there 5 levels to all of this?
I don't know. Like that armor set's really cool. There was another one that I crossed. I think it was Somacant. That's actually technically that's kind of low key, kind of cool.
Oh yeah, Soma Cants. That's what Brian was wearing that one time.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah. So I think like post podcast, I'm probably going to just kind of spend more time just well, first of all, finally dealing with that urgent quest. So I can
I
get
mean, I
to
can help
seven
you
set.
out.
That'd be great, actually. Yeah, yeah, we'll just do
Get ready to
because
say I can help you finish up.
because with all the other games that I've like kind of put on hold now, I could finally focus on Monster Hunter Rise like a lot more so. And yeah, there's a very good reason why it sold like what was it, 2 million units?
Yeah, it's a good game.
It's like holy shit.
Yeah, it's sold fantastically.
They know what they're doing. Jeez. I'm also like in love with like the Ibuchi fight theme, or like I guess that's your like that's what we're gonna call it for now.
I'm just
So
waiting to see like if there are going to be any collabs like there were with World, because World had the Final Fantasy collab, they had the Witcher collab.
oh yeah, I hate portals. He
So
pops out of a portal again.
I think it'd be very. Could you imagine? Not again.
Well, he is on Switch, so I don't see any issues with it.
Yeah, but I mean, World was popular. World and Witcher 3 were out in a similar time, so it makes sense of why, because it was
This is
like
true.
popular at the same time.
It's still The Witcher 3 and Geralt.
Bruh,
Yeah, this sucks, man. And this is
fuck.
over. It's the overtime of over like time of a month. Like he popped into this portal, he popped out a month later, he pops into like a brand new like Monster Hunter game.
Just all within the time span of a month for him.
But for us, it's been like a fair number of years.
It's like, fuck.
Speaking of other new games, any interest in Pokemon Snap or Returnal?
I've seen Returnal and I've seen Snap. Like, I think Snap looks fun. Like, I don't know if I'm gonna buy it, but it definitely looks fun. Mainly just
Sure.
because, I get what everyone likes about Snap. I do. It's just that, I guess, like, I tried playing it when I was younger. I didn't really get it because I was a kid. Like, I understood the mainline games way more than Pokemon Snap. But I understand the appeal of Pokemon Snap. So if I was to play it, I'd probably have a good time. But the thing is, like, do I want to spend my money on it?
That's fair, right? I'm also kind of on the similar boat. I unfortunately never had that opportunity to play like the first one. So I don't have like that nostalgia to hit back, but when I was watching like people like Brian play Pokemon Snap and just knowing that you don't really know the environment, you just kind of follow like what catches your curiosity and it just works. I think that's
What's
very
whose
appealing.
attention span actually gets the job done?
Yeah, the attention span is what carries you.
Who's got the best attention span? Let's find it.
Listen, all you gotta do is turn the corner around and you'll just see like a little Torchic and you're like, oh, that's cute. And it's Brent and Apple are like, oh my god.
So it's like, oh look, a Torchic and a Mewtwo just flew right behind you. You're like,
hit him up
no.
hit him up with the double D gasp. It's pretty much like that. And I've seen Returnal like as far as streams. That looks
Like,
like
it looks interesting.
really addicting. It is pretty much on the same level. I'm just gonna say it's like Hades because it is like what's the genre called? Like a roguelike. So it's just about looping over and over and finding best things, but it's just a third like it's not isometric, it's just like third person shooter slash action adventure slash yeah.
That sounds like Horizon New Dawn.
kind of, but it's a little faster. I think
Horizon with more speed.
Horizon with more speed, yes. You are playing as a middle-aged woman who goes fast.
She's built different.
She's just built different. Like she's running around like a Samus. Oddly enough,
Wow.
the map layout apparently looks just like Metroid Prime maps. So I mean,
I mean,
there's some inspiration there. Good inspiration. So I mean, I might check it out, but I don't remember the price tag. It's probably $70, right? That's a little steep on my end. So I don't know. I think I'll just wait it out for a little bit. It was Maximilian dude who was the one who was streaming that I watched. He was talking about how yeah, it's a super dope game, but the problem is that like it's only on PlayStation 5 and those are like
hard to come by.
Hard to come by nowadays. So that's really unfortunate like for like Sony.
When you
that's
limit
also
the release of your product.
Yeah. And the sales for it. I feel like super bad for those who work at Returnal too, because like it looks really good, but the problem is that no one can really enjoy the
sure it's
game.
gonna sell fantastically for those who own a PS5, but for those who don't own a PS5, it ain't gonna go so well.
Exactly. But I know that Mark, you've been playing a little bit of Second Extinction.
Correct.
How is that playing out?
Good. It's like it's one of those like go around, do the objectives, you know, like do side quests, kind of contribute to the war effort, and you know just destroy some dinos. I can see this like I could play it by myself, but I feel like it'd be more fun with friends.
Yeah. So as far as just like comparison sakes, what would you like to compare like Second Extinction to?
I can definitely see people comparing it to Left 4 Dead, but it feels like it kind of feels like that, but at the same time, the gameplay is also a little reminiscent of Ark in a sense. Mainly in the sense of dinosaurs and guns.
Dinosaurs and guns. I mean, like I'm kind of interested. Like, and you're also playing it like on a base Xbox One. How's that performing?
It's not too bad. Like I definitely think it'd be better on a Series X or on a One X. Like I feel like it'd be way better. Like it would look so much better and it'd probably play a bit smoother. But still, it plays decently.
Okay. Would you compare it to like maybe like Gears 5? As far as like that performance?
Almost, mainly just because like it like on the console so far on the one, I've noticed that it suffers from one thing. That one thing would be the it's what's it called? The like you know when a bunch of enemies spawn in?
Yeah.
Like you might get so overwhelmed that the game starts slowing down.
Oh, like some frame drops where it's just like
so many.
Oh, that sucks.
It's
I remember
like so many enemies.
Yeah. That's really unfortunate. It's kind of like akin to like how people were showing Days Gone as far as like the whole slew of zombies coming at you.
Well, I mean, it's because the game has so much to process.
Yeah.
And that's why the Series X can probably run it absolutely fine. But the one it can run it, but it starts to struggle with when that many enemies come in. So it runs it properly for the most part.
It runs it properly for like what it was built for at the time.
Yeah, like it gets the job done. It just that it suffers once things get too cluttered.
I also wanted to give like quick shout outs to Game Pass as far as like getting new brought up. That also includes Second Extinction, but I also see like Destroy All Humans is in there.
Yep, Destroy All Humans did get added.
What's the swan with like the two-headed dogs? I think it's called Pugs, but it's with a P-O-G.
P-O-G, Pogs.
Pugs. There's also this game called Rain on Your Parade. That looks really cute. There's another one called like Pathway. Interesting enough, Zombie Army 4.
I saw that. I was like, why are there 4 of these games made? And I have never even played a single one of them. So I'm just like, what is the appeal? Like, I do not get it. I do not get it with the Zombie Army games because to me, I'm just like, I feel zombies are like I just feel zombies are very like overdone in a sense.
I agree with that. I agree with that.
Managed because it feels like I thought like zombies were the thing up until like 2012, 2014, I think. And then I was like, I figured it would like lose steam, but it's still going pretty hard.
Yeah, that I think it's just a matter of trying to find the quintessential like zombie game as far as balancing like the fear of it.
I was gonna say like Left 4 Dead is usually universally seen as like one of the best zombie games of all time.
I kind of agree with that because it's kind of relentless and also very scary when it gets extreme. Because
That
then,
that that and then there's the Call of Duty zombies.
because I feel like most other like zombie conceptual like shows, games, and whatnot, it it comes down to not the zombies, but the people who are living with the zombies.
Also true.
Also, another thing I'm seeing right now that's coming to Game Pass is actually Dragon Quest Builders 2.
I saw that. I was like, wow, both the Dragon Quest games got on the Xbox. Okay.
Really nice. I was thinking about like Loki kind of like playing that despite no experience with Dragon Quest, but a little bit of Minecraft to just be like, okay, I can kind of
I tried to play the Dragon Quest game. Like I tried to play the one that came out, and while pretty game,
very
uh,
pretty, yeah.
I'm not a fan of. I was not a fan of the combat, and I wasn't a fan of the combat. And on top of that, like the music, like when you enter a battle, after a while, it just got on my nerves.
You're just like, oh,
I was
jeez.
like, is that gonna happen every time I'm in a battle?
This is gonna happen every time in the.
I'm just like, okay.
It's like, oh,
I enjoyed the art though, because it's Toriyama's art, so naturally
yeah.
I do enjoy it. So I've really enjoyed it from the art perspective.
Oh my god. I might have to like I might have to give it like a try too, since it should also still be on Game Pass.
Like, I think the thing is like is because I'm gonna play Final Fantasy VII Remake like once it actually finally comes to the other consoles
Mhm.
that aren't the PS4.
Right, right, right.
But I'm gonna play the remake because while yes, I could play the original, I have this thing.
Okay.
The only turn-based combat I enjoy
The only one.
is usually Pokemon
Fair. Fair.
because turn-based combat usually not a fan. Usually not a fan.
What do you think about it as far as turn based that kind of like I guess turns you off for lack of better words?
I think it's the lack of engagement.
I guess so.
Like for Pokemon, I think for Pokemon it's just that exception.
I can understand that.
And I
Because even
guess
though
for some of the Digimon games too.
because understandably like not like all the Pokemon and Digimon games have that many like levels of like engagement as far as
Yeah,
like
and it's a partner thing. Like you have to tell your partner what to do.
that's fair too.
But say for games that do it really good, like from what I've heard, a game that does it really well as a good example would be Persona 5. I've heard they do turn based combat like exceptionally well.
I've not really played it myself. I know there's a sale for it, but it's just like I haven't really like touched up on that game. 'Cause I know when I touch that game, I'm not gonna be seen.
That's because Persona 5 is the hype.
It is the length.
Persona 5 is the hype. I've
It
never played a Persona game, so it would be my first if I ever play it.
yeah. I guess if anything, like it's hailed for being a really good like Persona game and also JRPG game for a reason.
Oh yeah, I've
But
heard it's an amazing JRPG.
like the number of hours to clock in for it will definitely like do its numbers. So
I
that's
just
kind of
like
the reason I'm pulling back on that.
I just know I'm really disappointed to know that like Final Fantasy 16 is not going to be on the Xbox. Like, what the fuck?
That's unfortunate. Like it's one of those things where it's coming to PC later, and that's great. But Xbox, unfortunately, until further notice, probably won't get
I'm
anything.
really hoping they do get it because I really want to play it because it looks great.
It looks great.
Yeah, and I really enjoyed 15. Like that was my first Final Fantasy, and I had a good time with it.
Yeah, it was definitely a lot of fun. As far as the Game Pass, like on the console side of things, I was just looking at console or PC Pacific. I guess Grand Theft Auto 5's finally coming to pass. Or
I noticed that Grand Theft Auto 5 is actually on Game Pass now. I was like, well, damn. I wonder if that means they're finally working on 6.
it's gotta be right.
I feel like if they're doing that, they're like, all right, we can afford to have it on here now. We're working on the next one. All right, put her on.
How's it been versus how's it going?
Exactly. I mean, that's pretty much the basis of it.
Series X squared.
Series
the
X squared.
Grand Theft Auto 5 Definitive Edition.
Could be.
Or I would be so done. And sometimes it has to happen, but there's other times where it doesn't need to.
I mean, Grand Theft Auto Online did like exceptionally well, like
That's fair.
in every sense of the word.
For sure,
And
there
I
is
mean, like
that.
I've played Grand Theft Auto Online. Like Grand Theft Auto Online, it's a lot of fun, especially with friends.
Yeah, definitely just multiplayer like are great with friends.
Did you ever play Grand Theft Auto 5?
I have just the main like campaign, and I thought that was
Okay, I
fun.
was wondering. I was wondering if you'd at least played it. And it's good to hear that you at least tried it out.
Yeah, I remember like I would have been much more into it, but at the time, like I had it was only like a TV like setup for it, and like the couches were set a fair distance where I actually couldn't see the cell phone side of things.
F.
It sucked, but I eventually got through with it. Um, I thought the story was like super engaging. I just like the whole open worldness of it, even though at that time I didn't care about really exploring that much. But it was
Just
super
focus on
nice,
getting the job done.
right? Just seeing like how the characters interact was like my favorite thing. And yeah, I mean like it's been a long time since I played that, but that was like 360 era too.
You played the
Um
360 era of GTA. Whoa! Like you played that version. I
that was
played the
like way back.
like oh, you played it when it first came out because I played it when it came out like on the Xbox One. Like I played the one version.
But yeah, it was still a really good time.
Oh, it's still a good game.
That reminds me, Red Dead 2 is also gonna have to be on my list at
Red
some
Dead 2 is
point.
really good. It's
Yeah,
really good.
Jesus, missing out if I decide to not play it, unless they came up with like a an even better one.
I mean, there's Red Dead Online now,
That's fair.
which I'm surprised. Like, I don't see Gabe on that right now.
I think it had like a pretty good following, like initially starting off. Like you saw videos of people just having like the most fun, just being on the game, just doing absolute chaos stuff. Um,
Absolute chaos.
do you know if there's any like customizable games? Like I guess it's in the same vein as like GTA Online.
It depends. What do you mean by customizable?
I mean, like, that's it. Yeah, that's a really good point because like it's not like you can like put platforms up in the air and you can do like driving competitions
Halo Forge?
that like almost to that level, or you can
Dare
make
say,
like
because I mean, that's a lot of fun.
they were a lot of fun. And I feel like the community can really benefit from that if they actually have like resources to do stuff like that. But if it's limited on like where they don't have like really customizable games like that, instead they just have these like token little mini games that people play but would end up getting old fast, especially if there weren't any like rewards to it. Then
The games for creating games where the games are like you made a game, but it's also like
yeah, I think it's partially the reason why Minecraft's so like successful because there is a story. There is an end to the the end of the game, sure, but there's also the fact that people just kind of made their own games out of it too. And I think that
Oh, absolutely.
that goes a
I mean,
long
like,
way.
it's the same thing with some people do with Sea of Thieves. Like, there's story missions, but a lot of people just do their own pirate adventure.
This is fair. So that's why I think that like maybe with Red Dead Online, it didn't really like do 100% well because of the fact that there's maybe limited things for you to do, like aside from like just bumming around with your friends. Great time. It's just that like, is there anything else that you could add to it to like make it more fun, like make a curated type of game for it? I love just seeing like some of those videos of people like making optimized like racetracks like in the air.
Halo Forge was just a good time to be alive.
Yeah, that was fun too. Just seeing like
Like
what works here and
Halo
there.
3 Forge, I think was like I think Halo 3 Forge was probably my favorite of all the forges.
I think
Where
it was just
you just stack the fucking shipping crates and then like, you just delete the one underneath of it to make it float.
that's funny.
I love doing that, and I love like just all the file sharing because you could like on the Xboxes on the Xbox you could do the file sharing, so you just people would upload it to the cloud for Bungie.
That's nice. Any like updates by the way with Halo Infinite?
I think the release date's still on schedule.
Okay, I haven't heard anything since like I guess the unveiling of some gameplay here and there, and some talks here and there.
The gameplay still look clean as fuck.
Oh, because I think I saw something about Halo Infinite like this past week, but I didn't know what it was.
You
I
just
think
know that Halo Infinite.
oh, because like someone was comparing the images, like wow, look at the difference of that 8 years makes, or something like that. So this is from The Verge. They're saying Microsoft reveals how Halo Infinite will look. What was it by 32 like by 9 super ultra wide monitors? Excuse me.
And it just looks like a dream.
Oh my lord. Oh my
It looks
god.
pretty.
I'm looking. I'm looking respectfully, and lord, that UI is like spread out.
It clean.
Damn, Chief's got those rabbit eyes. They're like,
You say he's got red. You say he's got those rabbit eyes. What
because
the fuck are rabbit eyes?
you know how like one of the differences between like predators and prey is that prey actually have like eyes set up so well some where they
Yeah, to look
actually
around them.
yeah they look like they have a wider view of angle so they can look out for predators. Halo Chief's got like the rabbit eyes.
He got rabbit eyes.
He's
Develop mole eyes.
he can see what you're doing behind you behind him. Yeah, that looks wild.
Like I remember people were complaining about the graphics of the launch, like that launch
Right.
trailer that we saw, like in the gameplay. Like I did not get the complaints. I was like, this still graphically looks amazing. Like this still graphically looks better than any Halo we've ever seen. What the fuck are they complaining about?
I'm just curious about like the open world of it still.
Oh, it looks so. I'm really curious to try that.
Also, Halo Infinite supporting crossplay and cross progression Xbox and PC. That's great.
Which is more than some can say. I mean, like, like Apex still hasn't done cross progression,
Yeah.
which
Damn.
is you think they say they're working on it. Like they are working on it, but it's not ready yet. It's like the same thing when they were saying like crossplay working on it wasn't ready yet, but you know it's here now, so hopefully they get that taken care of. Remember, we're still waiting on Anaya to be ready to play Apex. 'Cause he's a screw.
It's definitely it's an undertaking. Like if you're gonna play it, you're gonna play it and you're gonna end up committing. Or just have the one
Hey man,
time.
you just gotta hop in, just gotta drop in. Hey, you gotta get more. The more you play, better you're gonna get.
That's true. It is kind of scary though if you're not like because like the game kind of only has multiplayer like involved with it. So I can understand from his angle where you can't necessarily well, I guess there's also fighting games, so that's also like a different too. Where
Before fighting games only had fucking story and like play with your friends.
that's true.
In terms of like you have to sit next to each other.
That's fair. So, I mean, yeah, I mean, like for any other game, it's just like getting good at it and getting that confidence in there. When I was playing Apex, there was definitely a pressure that I inserted for myself to be be- to be better because I'd literally be like at one of those open, I guess, like one of those spots where you like just pick up on like weapons and ammo, and somehow I'm supposed to know exactly like which ammo goes to which, although they're color assigned. That's helpful.
And well, I mean, yeah, but they also no, they're color signed. Usually, you could tell just from looking at them.
That's the thing. I don't know. I'm not sure if I'm at that level because I look at it and it's like that's a thing.
Well, let's think. Silver and bigger, heavy. Smaller and bronze, light. Huge and blue, sniper.
Okay. I mean, like it becomes as simple as that, but it's establishing like those shortcuts to your brain that is for me personally is the thing to overcome first and foremost.
Oh, do you have a hard time with that kind of stuff?
I don't think so. It's just that it's a lot to take in when like my brain's telling me to like move. It's like
Move.
move because I'd rather just like look at it and be like, oh, okay, let's just take this, take that. But there's also like the fear where there's so, like literally someone's coming up on you. You don't know, but there might be, and you gotta move.
That
But
terrifies you.
it yeah, it hinders you more than it does make you
Maybe
better.
you should play Bloodhound then.
Just track everyone. I mean, that's
Yeah,
fair.
playing Recon would be your thing then, so you always know where everybody is.
But I mean, like I see Kristoff play, and like he's just in the element.
That's because Kristoff goes in sweaty
Ethan's sweaty. Why you gotta put him out like that?
because it ain't raw.
But yeah, he's like it's different because I just see him just go. He just he's like a different tier right now.
He's
So
good for sure. Like we usually do pretty good.
I remember like the main difficulties of like multiplayer games is just simply learning how to aim sight
Basically,
consistently. But there's also another like level to it where it's special abilities of the characters, what equipment you're currently carrying, what upgradables that you have on you, and what you need.
it usually just becomes second nature.
It probably does. Gotta you gotta leap. So and also commit. It's like commit a fair number of like hours into it. Yeah.
Yeah, it practice definitely makes perfect.
Practice makes it enjoyable.
Makes it enjoyable.
I know. But that is my hot take. Here's Justin with his final thoughts. Yeah,
So you
no.
see, that has been his TED talk.
That's been my TED Talk. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys next
I mean, how much you've at least won a game of Apex. Like that's the goal of any battle royale is to at least win
I
one.
I guess yes, because like I guess I'm fairly okay with just simply just running gunning. As far as other like tactics involved, Kristoff would literally have to be the guy in the chair like or over my shoulder to tell me like use your ult.
Use your roll. Use your roll.
But I'm at least fairly good at just kind of like knowing that I need to move around.
Yeah, so
um,
moving around definitely helps. It's like
to slide.
yeah, slide. But I mean, like it depends like who you're playing because like mobility will help a lot, but it really depends what the situation is, like what you need to do, what gear you have on you. Like if it's just straight up guns blazing, just do what you can and try not to get fucked.
Yeah. Also, learning to like use both weapons they have on you, especially when you need to reload.
Oh yeah. But that's where see that's what you should have played this season is because they introduced the gold magazine.
The gold magazine.
Yeah, because whenever you stow away a weapon and you have a gold mag in it, it'll reload automatically in 5 seconds.
Dude, damn. They literally just put it away, switch your other gun, and then you swap over, and it's already you don't have to worry about refilling it. It already did it.
Yeah.
That is very helpful. Because
That's why like if I find a gold bag, I'm like, yes, I'll take that. Thank you.
is that like, oh well, gold mag means like that's applicable to any type of weapon, long it's like. Does that need to be color coded, or is that just simply a thing?
Well, the gold mag is gold.
Okay, so gold, gold.
Yeah. As long as it's a gold version of a mag, it's the gold sniper mag, gold heavy mag, gold light mag.
Okay, all right, that makes sense. Yeah, no, I at least know too that like it gets, and I only know this because I simply see this happening a lot. Just when you run out of ammo in the middle of a gunfight, you usually end
Worst
up losing.
feeling.
You
Worst
end up,
feeling.
yeah. So that's when it's important to always look at like the number of rounds you got.
If I run out of ammo in the middle of a gunfight, I'm gonna cry, and then I'm just gonna use my hands.
Amazon now allows you to pay with your hands.
Although if
The
you have an
best thing.
heirloom, you don't have to use your hands. You use your heirloom because your heirloom is your melee weapon skin.
Nice. I like that.
Although I don't have an heirloom.
Oh,
Kristoff has a couple.
damn.
That's because he spent a sizable amount of money.
Listen, I know that he might have like spent like at least the initial $40 just going in, right? But I didn't know about anything else additionally.
I mean, he got the Bangalore heirloom, which I know for a fact he had to pay for that. So I was like, "Bro, your wallet must be hurting." He's like, "It is, but she is my main. This I had to do.
This it was necessary for the cause.
She is the main. This is required."
It is needed.
I'm like, "I understand."
I
Crypto's supposed to be getting his heirloom next, so if that's true, I'm like, "Ooh,
okay.
I don't have money to get these heirlooms like everybody else." So I'm
Next,
like, I'm just gonna have to open packs and hope open packs until I get my heirloom shards.
I mean, yeah, okay. I mean, yeah, because it's still free to play, but there's definitely elements where it's like it would be nice. Be nice to put down some money for something that's guaranteed.
I mean, yeah. I mean, on top of that, like I've unlocked all the legends now, so I'll be able to afford Valkyrie as soon as she's ready to
Oh,
release, which is on
nice.
May 4th.
Okay.
Did you see the release of the trailers
I
for
did
Valkyrie?
see that. I liked how it was a dual type of like trailer where it was Valkyrie, but then there's something else. There was a new like type of like matchup, right?
Yeah, there was the arena.
The arena. Any details
I also
about
really
that?
liked Valkyrie's legend trailer because it tied her into Viper from Titanfall 2.
Oh, okay.
She's Viper's daughter,
Damn.
so her father was one of the Apex Predators.
That's interesting because I know that one that Titanfall 2 is now on Game Pass, but also Kristoff's been jumping in on that game too.
Oh yeah, like Titanfall, people don't realize. Like people who play Apex, they don't realize a lot about Titanfall. Like if you tell them, "Hey, want to play some Titanfall?" They're like, "Oh, probably just like Apex. Sure, I can handle this." They get on it. Everything is so fast. I was like, "Yeah."
It's funny how that that's the predecessor to Apex.
Because they tried doing all of that for Apex. Like they tried Titans, they tried wall running. They were like, Nah, it's like not the average person couldn't hop into this and be good at it. You know, it would take so much practice.
I feel
That's
that.
because
Oh, go ahead.
Apex was very like mobile based. Like it's very you're constantly moving. That is how Titanfall always was.
If it's based on mobility, I feel like Apex might be. I mean, that also still takes some practice, as I'm seeing it.
Oh yeah, like
I see
Apex
it.
has mobility. Like I'm not saying like I would say Apex still has mobility. Just the fact of compared to Titanfall, the mobility is not nearly as like I would say fast or like fluid.
Yeah. All right. I think that's pretty much it. So I guess we'll go ahead and wrap up. Yeah, this has been a really nice conversation. It's like generally everything, I
Basically,
think.
just keep going.
Yeah. So all right. In that case, we'll go ahead and end it off here and do some monster hunting.
I'm down.
Super down. All right. We'll go end it here. So thank you guys so much for watching this episode of DangIT Podcast. This is episode 358. My name is Justin.
Mark,
Thanks for watching. Hashtag bye everyone.
take my pee.
Hashtag bye everyone. Would that be a number 2? Medium and large? So we have to
My
put that.
ears.
Okay. Bye everyone.